Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. It's me.
And it's me.
It's us. In fact, it's us. Do I look, Natasha, windswept or beach kissed?
Yeah, you do look a little bit like that.
Just got out of the water. Hold on a sec.
Oh my God. Now everyone knows what I'm talking about. That is not normal.
Yeah, I just caught some tasty waves with friend of the pod, Andrew Moshe, and soon-to-be guest, Kurt Von Oller. I'm feeling really at one with nature. I also watched Point Break last night, so I'm really feeling at one with the source.
Did you feel more at one with nature when we were on that nature preserve called Disneyland?
Dude, it's crazy.
They said it was a nature preserve.
It is technically a nature preserve. There's ducklings. It is crazy that after your screed against Disney went, I would say, atomically viral, you decided to join me on a trip to Disneyland.
Right. Well, that's because you said we would get a woman to take us around.
We got a woman. I don't think we're supposed to say their name. Maybe we'll bleep that out. But yeah, we had, I would say, what would you call it? Would you call it illegal?
Well, they were just like making it really easy for us. And they went and got the food, and they figured out the app and knew which lines to wait in.
I was calling them the Disney Sherpa, and then it occurred to me that might be a little bit R word. Racist.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if... write in and let me know if you're not supposed to say Sherpa anymore. But do you think what they were doing... It's certainly not a feature that the park It's not legal.
Well, it was cool. It wasn't that expensive. And what was really crazy about it is it was the absolute ideal way to experience Disneyland.
And yet...
I still hated it.
Yeah.
And I spent the last 2 hours in the car.
She went to the car. Sat in the car. While we were on ride, she sat in the car. Let me say...
I tried to look up friends. I was like, and I did find my one friend, Sylvia. I was like... I know you didn't let your daughter come to Disneyland. She's like, oh, you know me too well, honey. I guess my anti-establishment tendencies will not allow me to do that. And I'm like, that's how I feel.
Dude, that is so cool. It's absolutely imperative that you apply punk ethos to parenting. I've always said that. I've always said, against the grain, anti-establishment. It starts in elementary school.
Listen, I could only find one friend out of a whole buttload of cool people who agree with me that it's hell on earth. It's so many people.
You didn't like that Space Mountain?
No, I don't like. I'm an adult. I don't want to go on rides. I don't want to get jerked around, and I don't want to be with all of these, as my friend said, unregulated children having meltdowns. It's so awful.
You were, towards the end of the day, an unregulated adult having a meltdown. Natasha was fun because Natasha would pretend to be down to get on a ride, and then at the very end of the ride we didn't wait in line once, by the way. This system was so dope, and you keep shying away from my question about its legality, but I think the best anecdote to tell you is that she was once the guide for one Mario Lopez,
Moshe,
and was booted from the park. They kicked her out because Mario was too hot. You and we floated under the radar. We are at the perfect Hollywood level where they are not going to be, as they were calling them, plaid shirts, which are the actual VIP guides at Disneyland that are sanctioned by the park. The plaid shirts are looking for people like our people and booting them out. And when they booted him out with Mario Lopez, they let him stay, apparently. And they said to her as they kicked her out, see you tomorrow, because they knew she'd be back.
We should definitely see if it's okay to tell that story.
Yeah. And if it's not okay to tell that story, then we wasted a lot of time on this intro to our podcast, and we're going to have to re-record.
Well, listen, I don't get it. I just tried to, when I decided I was going to go to the car, walking from where we were sitting and taking a break, I was trying to find a place. I was like, is there a cafe I can go sit in? They said it's a nature preserve. Is there a park I can go to? Moshe was like, you can just keep taking the boat back and forth.
Yeah, I told her, you're right, Natasha. It was a better choice to go sit in a Tesla Y, which you bought because you love Elon, and you bought it after the election, which I think is straight up weird.
It's not true.
You think it's weirder to go sit in a car in a parking lot or to take a fucking paddle boat around a artificial lake and watch ducklings?
Listen, I just wanted to go spend some time with my phone, return some emails, and imagine being at a happier place.
Well, what I wanted to do was to help the resistance bring a shipment of something and get it past the Galactic Empire. And guess what? I fucking did that.
That
and guess
thing
what
was
else?
cool.
Natasha did it too.
I liked that one. That was cool.
Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance was kind of cool.
Space Mountain?
I didn't do Space Mountain.
Oh, my.
I did it last time, and then it made me sick.
Space Mountain's the best.
And
best
then
ride.
The log ride was cute, but I did get wet.
Yeah, you got wet.
But also, it's like, yeah, if 5 of those rides, that'd be awesome. But the people we were with wanted to stay like 12 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like,
They
I
went
did
nuts.
it. I went on 5, 6, 8 rides. By 2, we got to the park at 7:30 in the morning. And by 2 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But like everybody else in the party is like, still, I don't know, trying to
like have a good time or whatever. Yeah, it was weird. We were still like having fun, and Natasha had a sour look on her face and decided to go return texts. Natasha, who famously is pro cell phone, decided to go sit in the car and stare at her phone while we continued our mission.
Do you think Frank Sinatra liked to go to Disneyland and went on the log ride?
That's a great question.
I guarantee he didn't.
You know what?
Not that he's my idol.
Make my adult living decisions based upon what Frank Sinatra did and didn't do. And that is why I fuck prostitutes in Las Vegas.
Okay, that's funny. But listen, I'm just saying, you know, a classy person.
A classy guy like Frank.
Into adult things.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm sure Robert Smith would not enjoy a day at Disneyland. So why don't you go, you know, count tears and shoegaze with your Morrissey loving self. And you and Sylvia can go to a punk show while me and the other fun-loving parents of America continue to ride rides, have a great time, and bring wonder to our children.
Like, okay, here's a question. Why can't they let like half as many people come in so it's not like like a sea of like I couldn't even get from one end of the park to the other without like dodging. And it's like they just let too many people in.
You hear that, Bob Iger? Natasha's pitching a new business model for you, which is to cut attendance at Disneyland by 50% so that snobs can have a little bit more comfort.
All right. Well, listen, the one person who responds to me and who takes my side.
Oh, no.
They're going to be my soulmate.
No, listen, I'm your soulmate. But secondarily, the comments were, I would say, broadly agreeing with you on our
But they
Ben
still
Schwartz clip.
go.
Listen, Tosh, I appreciate you coming. You put your nose to the grindstone. You tried your best. It's not for you. Next time, it's just going to be me and some other junkies for the Disney experience.
Okay. Well, listen, this has been great.
I agree.
Think we should
answer some questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do some written in questions today. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Would you like a huge big gulp of corn syrup-addled soda that would go right into your veins and give you all kinds of problems?
Not really.
Okay, what about a soda that's got 6 grams of fiber and is made with real fruit juice?
You're saying fiber in a soda pop?
That's right. It's interesting you call it soda pop because it's called Simply Pop.
Simply Pop is a new fruit-forward beverage of prebiotic sodas made with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support your gut health, vitamin C, and zinc to support immune function.
Did I mention it's got juice? It's got juice. Soda Pop just got juicy.
There are 5 flavors: pineapple mango, lime, strawberry, citrus punch, and Moshe's favorite, fruit punch.
I love fruit punch. But I don't do it anymore because it's got all that nasty stuff in it. Not with Simply Pop. It supports gut health with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. Prebiotics. It's got that zinc, it's got that C, and it's got that flavor. Simply Pop is flavor that pops.
Go to cokeurl.com/simplypop to find out where you can try Simply Pop.
Get on that juice. Find out where you can try Simply Pop at cokeurl.com/simplypop.
For flavor that pops, the Endless Honeymoon podcast chooses Simply Pop. Go to cokeurl.com/simplypop to find out where you can try it. Hi, Natasha and Moshe. I love you guys so much. Natasha, please go easy on me with this one.
Are you doing like a voiceover audition?
No, I just have a great voice. I met a man 2 years ago while on vacation. Already hate him. Just kidding. He shared with me that he was married.
Okay, this is going well so far.
At the time, I was drunk and chose to ignore that information. By the way, it happens.
It happens?
I mean, yeah. We hooked up. He lives in my city, and we have seen each other a handful of times at group events, where we end up finding each other at the end of the event, and usually something happens. Oh boy. Either kissing or full-on hookup. So they fuck. He acts like a bachelor, is a flirt by nature.
So in the moment.
So in the moment, I allow myself to be with this version of him. It's very romantic. I think there's a Miley Cyrus song about this. The cycle has really taken a toll on me in recent months.
You think Frank Sinatra liked Miley Cyrus?
As I have grown real feelings for him. He told me he loves me. But as I write this, I am sure he's manipulating me to try to keep this going. Do you think I will go crazy if I keep this up? It has lowered my self-esteem. Here's your answer. And I feel shame, as I know he is lying to someone. He's probably also lying to you. And I am complicit. And this would certainly cause his wife harm. I am trying to figure out how to put this bed.
Put this to bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to put this to bed before he puts me in bed again.
Love, hopefully not too far gone. Well, not too far gone. It's like, this is unnecessary.
Why? What do you think?
There's no need to respond to this. In your email is all the information you already know. I mean, duh, this isn't like a complex ethical question.
He's a liar. He's not even worthy of falling in love with, because he's going to do the same thing to you, guaranteed, if he ends up leaving her. You're complicit. You're right.
Let me translate your email.
It's making you have bad self-esteem.
Let me translate your email into the TLDR version. You know what that is, Natasha?
No.
It's internet speak that youth use, like people like me. Mm-hmm. Too long didn't read. Okay? Hi, I'm fucking someone who's married, and I don't want to stop because I'm horny. I feel like shit about it and know that it's unethical. What should I do? It's like, you already know what to do.
Find somebody else to fuck.
Find somebody else to fuck. It won't be as exciting.
They had this hot tryst.
Yeah, it happened and you can't unhappen it. But now you know you're currently fucking a married man. It makes you feel like shit. It turns you on because it's like drugs and you're excited and horny, but you know that it's bad and this woman might shoot you in the stomach with a shotgun. Get out while you still can, and hopefully you will not have any consequences from it. It's done. Don't do it anymore.
And I would add one thing to that. Well, a couple things. One thing I would add is don't feel bad that you did this.
Yeah, do feel bad that you did this.
No, I'm just saying, like, it happens. You got weak.
Yeah.
And don't I guess what I'm saying is don't beat yourself up over it, that it happened, especially if you feel like, draw on that to have the power to stop it. And by stopping it, what you have to do is you have to cut them off. You can't be friends. You have to just send them a text. You can say, hey, this isn't feeling right for me. And don't be like, maybe we should just be friends.
No.
Or maybe what you have to say is, I'm going to ask you to not contact me. And I would really appreciate it that you listen to that. Or I don't know how you say it better, Moshe.
Let me translate it one more time, this letter. Okay. It's not about sex and a married man. Okay, this is the analogy version. Hi, I tried heroin. I fucking loved it. I know it's bad for me, but once in a while I go to a party and people are doing heroin and I'm like, ooh, I want heroin, and I try it. I'm losing weight. I know I'm going to overdose. It's not good for me. What should I do? Fucking quit heroin. It's pretty obvious. Don't do this anymore.
I know, but then how does she not do it? What are some things? Because my main thing is to not be friends and to get stop contact.
Sure. Well, he lives in my city and we have seen each other at a handful of times at group events. Don't go to group events where you know this guy will be.
Especially for the first couple months.
Avoid the guy. Tell the guy, please don't contact me anymore. This isn't healthy for me. I'm sure it's not healthy for you, but that's your business. If you see me at an event, don't talk to me, please. I don't I don't want this to happen anymore.
And don't engage with him. Don't tell him I'm feeling really insecure.
Yeah.
It's making my self-esteem bad.
That's not your boyfriend.
Yeah, like don't. And then whatever he writes back, you don't have to write him back.
You know how you know that's not your boyfriend? He's someone's husband.
And he's also doing it to someone else.
Yeah, nobody's
He
boyfriend.
probably has 2 girls at local events that he goes and humps in the bathroom.
Nobody's boyfriend is ever someone's husband unless they're in a consensual poly relationship and this is acceptable behavior.
I'm impressed that this letter is so classic.
Yeah, it's a real. Yeah, this really is a true classic. Natasha, listen, there's no wisdom to give you. Stop. You have to stop.
She has to send him a very clear message that she doesn't want to talk anymore. Please understand. No hard feelings. And then in addition, you have to get on the apps and start keeping yourself busy.
Try saying this phrase. Bye-bye. That's good, right? Bye-bye. Say it just like that. It'll take care of itself. All right, the next letter says, Hey, Moshe and Natasha. Love the pod, long-time listener, first-time writer. I need some insight because I'm feeling a little confused and maybe a touch rejected. My wife and I have been married for 5 years, and she recently suggested we start sleeping in separate bedrooms. There's no big drama going on, no infidelity, no major fights. She just says she sleeps better alone and thinks it could improve both our sleep and our relationship. I'm trying to be open-minded, but I can't lie. It feels a little cold. Like, isn't sleeping next to each other one of the comforting, intimate parts of being married? Am I overreacting? Is this modern love? Or is this the first domino to fall? Would love to hear what you think. Is this a vibe or a red flag? Thanks for everything and for making relationships feel a little less lonely, even if I might be getting a bed all to myself soon. Love, Miss Solo Sleeper. There's some info missing.
What?
How often do they fuck in this new system? If you're having an unchanged sex life, then I would say it's one context. If it also coincides with a drop-off in your sex life, then yeah, that's a fucking red flag.
But she doesn't know yet what will happen with their sex life if they have the separate bed.
Well, hasn't it just started? I mean, is your sex life becoming curdled and cold as well? I think that it is.
What if it is?
Then this is a red flag. Then this is what they call, I hate to say it. I hate to say this.
LBD?
Yeah, LBD, lesbian bed death. Yeah, and it doesn't often take the form of 2 separate beds. Listen, if Natasha wasn't sleeping at night and she was like, I think I need to start sleeping in my own bed, but I'm down to fuck more, I would go, okay, I believe her.
I think you'd prefer that because then you could watch Star Trek End of Galaxy or whatever you're watching.
It is End of Galaxy. I love that show. I would say this. It's time to have a real conversation with your wife about how it makes you feel that you're sleeping separately. And this little phrase here, it could improve both our sleep and our relationship. Why would it improve your relationship? In what ways is it going to improve your relationship?
Well, I actually think it would be good for me because there's a lot of different types of people. I'm the type of person who I immediately, in every relationship, one person's in charge of the remote.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Moshe's always...
it's called the man.
No, Moshe's always in charge. No, it's not always the man.
I think it is.
It has to do with vibe. Like, Moshe's always in charge of the remote, and I am just down to absorb a lot of what he's into.
That's an absolute LOH. Load of hooey.
How do you know how I feel?
Are
you usually in charge of the remote?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you usually say yes when I want to watch something you don't want to watch?
No, sometimes I'll say no.
No,
but I guess my point is the person who, there's just like a dominant person finding, culling what is going to be happening,
I don't like it being framed as dominant. You don't want to touch the remote.
That's true.
You're missing that important
part. But I would, if I had my own bedroom and my own TV, I guess my point is I would follow my bliss a little bit more.
Your bliss is sleeping next to me and being allowed to, from time to time, have sex with me.
Okay, well, listen. I just think it could be totally warranted.
Totally.
That this person feels that. Now, if Miss Solo Sleeper is not the remote holder...
I guarantee you Miss Solo Sleeper is not the remote holder.
You don't think she is?
No, I guarantee whoever's bringing the idea, maybe we should sleep in separate beds, has probably been controlling the remote for their whole relationship. I think it's time to have a conversation. And by the way, there are options, right? Let's say this is a real physiological thing from your wife, and she's like, look, I don't sleep well with somebody next to me. Then you could say, well, it's really important for me to feel you next to me during my bedtime. So can we start every night in bed together, and then when it's time to go to bed, you go to your room? Or could we do 1 or 2 nights a week where we sleep in the same bed and the rest of the time you sleep in your bed? If she's open to all of those things and you guys are fucking on a regular basis, I don't see the problem. If you pitch those 2 things and she's like, well, no, I just think this is better, then you have your answer already. This is a red flag.
I hope it's not.
I hope it's not too.
All right, well, listen, have that talk. Ask her what she thinks it would look like. And say your feelings. This is your wife.
Right. Isn't it funny that it's sometimes hard to say your feelings about the person you're sleeping next to the person you're sleeping next to? Like you could say it more easily in a letter to us than you could to her. And that is the challenge of being human and being in a relationship.
That's true. Sorry you're human.
Yeah, well, we love you and we'll sleep with you. Let's do another letter.
Hi. So I need advice with my boyfriend. We've been together for 1.5 years, and he has yet to let me properly give him a blowjob. He says he just doesn't like them. Whether it's discomfort, insecurity, or something else. Something else. I'm not sure. I want to respect his feelings, but I also feel a little iffy on how to approach the topic without making him feel pressured.
What could
Love,
it be?
Harriet.
What could the other something else be?
I don't
He
know.
gay, girl. He gay.
Well, gay guys like blowjobs.
No, I know, but not from women generally. They say that's what they say. It's one of the rumors. No, I don't think he's gay. I mean, who knows? People's sexualities are. That was just an errant joke, guys. People's sexualities are complicated, and sometimes people have trauma, and sometimes people have, just physically.
1.5 years, no blowjobs.
But it's definitely in the realm of I've never heard of that before. I have heard of guys that are like blowjobs aren't my favorite, but not I won't let a begging woman give me one for 1.5 years. That's new to me. I think.
I mean, it's hard for me because all of my
You
experiences.
love sucking D.
No, but I will say all my experiences where men seemed like they didn't want to do certain obvious things in the bedroom, they were often gay people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows? I think
or not sexual enough. I mean, this is not sexually compatible.
Well, the question is, how do you approach the topic without making him feel pressured?
Not during sex.
Not in the bedroom. Yeah, absolutely. A different time, maybe even with a sex therapist. I know we often say get a therapist, but I think what people miss a lot of times is it's possible to get a therapist for a one-off.
A sex therapist? That
Yeah.
seems hard.
Well, fine. Forget it. Don't do it. But having a conversation, it also seems hard to sit your boyfriend down and say, I want to talk about sucking your dick. Why haven't I? But, I think having a conversation where he's not feeling the pressure or the embarrassment of being naked and sexual when you talk about it is definite advice.
Key.
And say to him what seems true. I know that blowjobs aren't like your favorite or your most comfortable zone, but they turn me on. And it would mean a lot to me to be able to do that to you. Mm-hmm. I really want to do it. Is there a way that we could do that would make you feel comfortable? Because it's something I want.
Yeah, and it's like the letter ends on her saying, I'm iffy how to approach the topic without making him feel pressured. But he's making you feel rejected. And he's not, and that starts to wear on you.
The wisdom.
And so you're in, and I don't know that you need to tell him this, but I do think it's something to think about and not just be considering his feelings and I hope he's okay and I don't want to pressure him and God, I hope he lets me suck his dick tomorrow.
But, to be fair.
That's rude.
Well, to be fair.
What guy doesn't want a blowjob?
Well, somebody maybe who has a bit of trauma around that.
Oh, right. But what if he what if she uses her teeth or something and or I don't know, maybe there's a way maybe that's something she could say. Is there a way I'm doing it or a way we could ease into it?
She hasn't really done it.
Right.
You just sit him down and you say these things to him and he's going to respond. He's going to be like, ooh, girl, all I want to do is kick back and watch Cabaret. No, I'm just kidding. But
Maybe he does have some trauma, and maybe that could bring you a little closer.
yeah, because wouldn't you rather? It doesn't seem like you've got all the information. Wouldn't you rather know that the reason he's saying no to them is because of a traumatic thing that happened to him than just guess that he's just not into you or not turned on by you? Like, even though that's a hard conversation to have and he might have a hard time having it, wouldn't it be nice to put some air in the relationship instead of everybody guessing? He's clearly keeping something from you too. There's some reason. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Well, I don't like him. That's not a full sentence. That's not enough.
I'm also reading into the message that you haven't talked to him about it yet. She says he just says he doesn't like them, whether it's discomfort, insecurity, something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
So find out, talk to
Find
him.
out.
And you don't have to like ask him if he was, molested or whatever. Just say, I'm here to talk about it. And
It's something
I think about all the time, and it makes me feel,
Yeah.
this is the only time in a relationship I felt this. And I also really like when we do this and this. And I think, I just wanted to just talk to you about it a little bit.
It's something I really want to do, and it's something that you seem to be telling me you don't want me to do. Can we talk about why? And can we talk about whether or not there's a way for me to be able to do it that would make you feel comfortable? And then you'll get more information. You will get more information. And if nothing else, he can give you a lot of recommendations on the best perfumes, the best house music clubs in town.
Wait, house music means you're gay? You're obsessed with house music.
That's right, honey. That's right.
All right, listen. I think we need to listen to some secrets.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know my favorite place to spend time with you?
Where's that?
Between the sheets. And I've said it before, but you spend a third of your life in bed. You should splurge in bed. You should make sure that when you go to bed, you're feeling in the lap of luxury. Do you agree?
I honestly think sheets are one of the most important things to spend money on. You use it every single night. So that's
right.
every day, every night, And it just makes you feel like you're at a fancy hotel. And you know what's been happening to me lately?
Tell me.
I'll go to a hotel, a fine hotel, upscale Marriott.
Yeah, sure.
Like one more than a court. I was in a courtyard. I was trying to make it sound like I wasn't. But I have been at even nicer ones where I miss my sheets.
Yeah, well, our sheets are the Boll and Branch sheets.
I mean, I love them. Are you looking for a spring refresh? These things make a big difference.
If you really want to change the way you sleep, you need to upgrade to Boll and Branch's 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll fall asleep faster with a luxurious softness that puts you in instant relaxation mode. I'm not kidding. You deserve to sleep on something that makes you feel special every time you get into bed, and we recommend Boll and Branch.
And also, don't forget to make your bed every day, too. That's another thing with nice sheets. You just want to kind of
It's true.
make it look appetizing.
You'll be sleeping better at night, but if you don't like these sheets, which we know that you will, you can try Boll and Branch sheets for a whole month, and if you don't feel the difference, you can get your money back. Boll and Branch products are made different so you can sleep better at night. They're woven with the finest 100% organic cotton on earth and crafted by artisans who earn the pay and respect they deserve.
They have designs and colors for every bedroom style and mattress size. So upgrade your sleep during Boll & Branch's annual spring event. For a limited time, get 20% off at bollandbranch.com/honeymoon. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/honeymoon to take 20% off site-wide for a limited time. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Hey, one time when I was in college, I used to get visited by these Mormons, and I remember I was like in this kind of like atheist phase of my life, and I was like kind of trying to challenge everybody, and these guys would come over like clockwork, like every Friday, and like the first time they came over, they were like drenched in sweat, and drenched in sweat. Anyway, I invited them over, gave them some water, and they come in, and then all of a sudden, flash forward a couple weeks later, they're coming like every week and doing weird things. Like they came in one time and they're like, "Hey, can we sing for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And one of them was like in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and had this angelic voice, and I was the only person in my house. My roommate wasn't there, and it was just me on this couch, and they're like singing for me. And then I'm sorry, at one point one of them goes to use the bathroom, and the angelic voice guy's back, and we're talking about stuff, and I'm talking about mitochondrial DNA and how, like, there's no evidence that the Mormons or the Native Americans have any connection to the Jews in Israel, and there's no evidence of this. And this guy's, like, actually really interested. And I'm like, man, I think I'm getting this guy. And then, anyway, they leave, and the next week they come back, and they've replaced the guy. And they're like, the dude is like, hey, this is my friend Brian. He's a biology major. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, no, I'm in too deep. And so I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And so I tell the guys, I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm sorry, but I can't hang out today. Like, I'm really busy. My roommate's, like, on my ass because the kitchen's not clean, and I got to study for this exam. And they're like, well, like, can we do anything to help? And I was like, I mean, yeah, sure, you can clean my kitchen. And I was totally kidding, of course. And then they were like, yeah, of course, we'd love to help. And so I sat in my kitchen and pretended to study while I watched these Mormons clean my kitchen. And then they finished, and they left, and I felt bad. And then they came back the next week, and I basically repeated the exact same story, and they cleaned my kitchen again. And I think they got wise because they never came back again. Anyway, take care.
I was sure this was going to end in cum.
Yes, I definitely thought a cum was coming too. That is very, very insightful of you. So whenever you start talking about DNA with the choir member of the squad, someone's getting the thing that the last advice person doesn't like. But yeah, I would definitely welcome Mormon missionaries if they would come clean my kitchen. I would fully welcome them.
What was his thing about the biology? They switched out the guy. Why? Because
basically, the Mormons have this part of their mythology that says that, you know about the 12 tribes of Israel? Mm-hmm. There were 12 tribes, and 11 of them are lost forever. I think it's 11 of them.
And one is the Jews?
Two of them. No. The Jews used to be 12 tribes, and only 2 remain. And so one of the mysteries of history is what happened to the other 10 tribes or whatever. They scattered to the wind, were they wiped out by history? A lot of Ethiopians say that they are in one of the tribes. A lot of people claim to be part of the tribe. The Mormons believe that the Native Americans, the indigenous people of America, because Mormonism is a more America-centric religion, the Mormons believe that the Native Americans were those tribes, and that they came here, right? And that Jesus...
They don't believe that they are indigenous people to the land?
They believe that they started in Israel and then came over here afterwards. And they also believe that Jesus was... He was killed and resurrected immediately in America to bring the message to the Native Americans.
Oh,
and so
God, with all those plates, the gold plates?
No, the plates are later. Oh. So he was basically saying to these missionaries, look, they've done DNA tests on Native American people. There's no connection between them and the 12 tribes of Israel. And so they swapped that guy out. I thought that was where the cum was coming, was that they found out he was gay and he was falling in love with this guy. They swapped that guy out with one of their Mormon biologists so that guy could refute his DNA evidence.
I see.
That's what happened there. But let's get back to what's important. How do I get Mormon missionaries to come clean my kitchen? Because I will listen.
The whole house.
I will listen to the word. I will. I would be glad to listen to the whispers of the angel Moroni if it were just to do my dishes. I'm down.
Wow, I didn't know that they thought that the Native Americans...
Yeah.
It's kind of rude.
It is pretty rude. Yes, I would agree. It's a thing that is rude to say you aren't who you say you are. A lot of people do that to Jews, by the way. That's a big meme. A lot of people go, oh, actually, we're Jews. You're not Jews. No, you guys are fake Jews. It's like, okay, well, all of this is fake. Religion is all just people believing in things. Who the fuck cares? Anyway.
That's the smartest thing you've ever said about religion.
Thank you very much. I have a degree in religion, which is why I know all that information, but you do not respect that. You do not respect that. But you know what you do respect? The power of and the power of my remote holding.
All right, let's hear another one.
Yeah. I'm a 56-year-old woman, and I have been dating this guy, at work, who's 32 years old, and he doesn't want anyone to know. And I confronted him and told him that I felt like we should not be secret about it, that we're not doing anything wrong, even though he's the same age as my son. And he broke it off with me. And because he just doesn't want anyone to know. So now you know. So that's my secret. Bye.
The best of us, the best men, want to keep their dating lives a secret. That is the mark of a quality man.
And you're not supposed to date at work.
I was making a little joke though.
Oh.
It's sort of the classic the classic description of a deadbeat is a guy that's like, this is so hot. Don't ever tell anybody about what's happening. But you're right, actually. He does have a reason not to tell people. It's a workplace romance.
Yeah, but then he like immediately broke it off with her.
Because he was scared she was going to start telling people.
Right. I mean, this is why they say don't do this. Because now you got to go to work and look at this fucking annoying ass guy. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say anything and try to get another dude in there picking you up from work, flaunt it a little bit.
Did you ever have a workplace romance other than Andrew Dice Clay on the set of Dice?
I mean, when I was like a waitress, I would like people who came into the bar and I would have relationships with them.
Customers?
Yeah, customers.
I think that's a different, isn't that a different vibe? That's okay, I think. I once went to a coffee shop, in fact, La Mille. Mm-hmm. La Mille coffee shop, asked a girl out.
Who worked there?
Steeled up and asked for her number, called her, went on a date with her. It wasn't a match. And then I didn't go to La Mille for like 5 years after that. And I was like, oh, this is why you don't date at your local coffee shop, because if it's not a match, you're shit out of luck. You got to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, and also like this whole age thing, I know that's how you're framing it, but try to shake that off a little bit.
You think 56 and 32 is acceptable?
I mean, first of all, she sounds like she's 25.
That is for sure true.
But I mean, what's acceptable? I mean, I think that they're both legally adults.
Yeah, I feel like after 30...
30s feels fair.
Yeah.
20s is like you're kind of dealing with someone who doesn't know what a mailbox is. So it's like there's generationally, it can be very challenging.
What about 78 and 30?
There is definitely some chunks of change involved in that.
Chunks of change.
You have to be so rich to be 76.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I mean, then it's like you're equating other things. If it's really important to you to be rich and you're willing to sublimate yourself.
Your entire sexuality and desire widget.
I mean, a 76-year-old can't be good in bed, right?
As a person who...
But 56, come on now.
As a person who doesn't see age and decided to date and marry a much, much older woman, I also agree that there is no taboo there. I mean, I went there and it's been the greatest experience of my life.
I'm 51 and you're like 47.
I will be 46 this summer, but thank you for knowing me so deeply.
Well, listen, I just think shake the age thing off, whatever. He called it off. And there's going to be other romances and not at your work.
All right, we got our secret dick wet. Now let's go back and read a letter from a fan who needs some help.
Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Every night we put our kid down and then we're like, what should we watch? I've got something for us.
What's that?
It's called Pulse.
Okay.
And it's a pulse, dare I say, pounding new show on Netflix. It's one of these ER procedurals, but with a twist. This ER is in a mother freaking hurricane.
Oh my God. But is it just like boring characters or the characters all kind of fleshed out? It's like character driven drama.
It's character driven, but it's a gripping medical procedural drama set in a cutting edge Miami trauma center with a mother freaking hurricane coming towards it.
I love hurricane stuff. I don't know why I feel
do?
so bad.
Interesting. Well, you're going to love Pulse on Netflix. The emotional stakes, I mean, I'm sure not every episode is a hurricane barrels toward it, but that is what this show is.
They're fighting it.
As a hurricane barrels towards Miami's busiest level 1 trauma center, third-year resident Dr. Danny Sims is unexpectedly thrust into a promotion. I mean, this is the kind of show that has the drama that you want.
Watch Pulse only on Netflix. Hey, my close friend's husband has been chatting me up a lot lately, and it's been very nice bonding over music, film, and art, etc. I was sort of worried that he might be developing a crush on me, but also I kind of thought of it as me babysitting him for my friend.
A classic thing that friends want.
For context, we're in a pretty close-knit group of friends, so I can't ask any of them. And most of my other friends are pregnant or have newborns, so I don't want to ask them about anything, but they're babies. Also, my husband and I just spent a year very messily exploring polyamory. Okay, this is why the guy's chatting her up.
And why she's chatting back.
Spoiler, it was really awful. We are both so jealous and are still working on building trust again. Tell this to the guy. All right, I'll keep reading. I want to talk with my husband about it, but I don't want to trigger bad feelings on the heels of our recent rumspringa. Anyway, this guy just told me he loves me.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. The close friend's husband said he loves her.
Oh no, and I am at a loss. Do I awkwardly say thank you and move on? No. Do I ask him if my friend, his wife, knows? Do I talk to my husband about it? I cannot stress enough how poorly opening our marriage went. I mean, this seems pretty obvious to me.
Me too. I wonder if we're some simpatico.
She needs to tell the guy.
Tell the guy what?
I would never cheat on my husband.
Except for last June.
No, she can say, just so you know, Betsy is my best friend.
Betsy.
Whatever her name is.
No, she says it's Betsy. Betsy R. Teresco of 4229 May Drive.
Okay, hold on. This is what you say to him. You say, I have to tell you, I would never cheat on my husband. We did open up our relationship and it went really badly. It's not something I ever want to explore again. I am very focused on my marriage, and even more so, she's my best friend and I would never do that to her. And please understand this, and I think it's best that we don't hang out anymore. That's what I would do. And I don't know how to do that. I probably wouldn't put it in writing.
What about
maybe you could talk to him? I don't know.
What about the part where she needs to tell her friend that her husband just declared his love for her?
Yeah.
This is a real ethical gray area that I've never known the answer to. How much are you responsible to tell your friend if your husband does this kind of thing, or wife? I don't know, but there's a part of me that thinks you do, but then you have to cop to the fact that you've been texting with him constantly. I mean, to some degree, panicking at the disco, which is what she signed this as, to some degree, panicking at the disco, you knew, and you were participating in it. You're
probably a little attracted to him.
Yeah, you can't pretend that you're like, what? Because you said you were worried he might be developing a crush on you, but you also kind of thought it as babysitting him for a friend, and you kept texting him through the crush. You kept going a little bit. That polyamory desire within you, even though you've admitted that might not be the relationship dynamic that works for you, wants to be satisfied. You wanted a little attention from this guy. You wanted a little bit of like fomance. How about that? I just coined a term, right? And now he's like, no, it's romance. And you're like, I don't know what to do. Part of this is on you. And so, yes, I agree with Natasha wholeheartedly. You got to say the response to that is, I don't feel that way about you, and I think we should stop texting each other. Full stop.
No, she needs to say, I would never cheat on my husband.
Sure, say that too, but it has to end with, and I think we should stop texting each other. Full stop. There's no like, if you need a restaurant recommendation, that I can do. It's like, no, my phone number is no longer open to you because you will fuck this guy, and he will fuck you back, and then you will all fuck all of your relationships. So I'm not sure what you should do about your friend, but I know what you should do about you, which is put a stop to this now, because you're going to physicalize this relationship if you don't.
And I agree. And also, you don't have to have the full plan right now, because depending on how he reacts, then you know your next move.
There you go.
Because if you say this to him, I would never cheat on my husband. I know maybe you heard that we opened up our relationship. It was really unsuccessful. You know, my priority is with him right now. We're together. We're not opening up our relationship. I would never do that. I would never cheat on with my friend's husband. And please don't text me anymore. And then see if you hear from your friend. If your friend calls you and she's like, I heard you were having an affair or whatever, then you can say, I was waiting to talk to you about this. Like this is what I told him. And then your side of the street's clean.
I love it. I'll add one more thing.
And then maybe he'll feel embarrassed. That will be cool. If he feels embarrassed and you never hear from it again and everything seems fine, I think as long as you keep your distance from him, unless she asks, I don't know that you need to tell her, but I do think some people would disagree with me and they would say, no, you should actually tell her because she's married to a piece of shit.
A piece of shit?
I mean, he's telling her
You just said to the other lady that slept with a married man, hey, things happen. Don't judge yourself. But he's a piece of shit?
He's telling her that he loves her.
Everything is
They haven't
complicated.
even kissed yet.
All things are complex in life. But here's what I think. I hope I'm saying this without judgment. I hope you don't take it as judgment. But you said in here you're both so jealous and you're working on building your trust again. I would say that having a text relationship a lot with somebody else's husband who you suspect might have a crush on you is not in the service of building your trust with your husband again. Mm-hmm. Now, luckily for you, this is a good thing. It didn't go there.
Yep.
It almost did. It really almost did, but it didn't go there. So no, it's a lesson for you. This is not behavior that I would engage in if the primary thing I'm trying to do with my partner is build trust again. So maybe in the future, you don't get yourself into situations like this.
And also be glad that everyone's falling in love with you, I guess.
I know, you must be hot. We get that you're hot.
Be in your power and focus on your husband. And I wouldn't tell the husband, but I would, unless he asks, and I would just keep working on your relationship.
Yeah. And I would, if you decide to open things up again, get in touch. All right, you guys, that is the end of our episode this afternoon. We have loved being with you.
It's really been one of the highlights of our careers.
Absolutely. By the way, if you do want to weigh in on whether or not a person who their friend's partner expresses feelings for them should tell their friend that happened, we are very curious. We are all ears. This is an ethical area that I don't know that I have the answer to. I just don't know what the right thing to do is. Write in. Right. And if you'd like to be on the podcast, write in. endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com.
All right. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. We love you. And Natasha?
Yes?
I love you.
I love you too.